Welcome back to TDM, the Dystopian Man. Please like and subscribe. Get your ledger link in the description. You can also donate to the channel using Bitcoin, Cardano, and Ethereum. All likes are appreciated and all comments are appreciated. And I thank you all for watching. Now, we're going to get straight into this right now. The truth about jobs, right? There is a truth to be told about jobs, definitely. But the problem is, most people don't understand how the system is a scam, right? Because they're not financially educated. They just have some sort of feeling, right? Listen to what this young man said. This is a man called Scar in the Woods, right? He was made homeless and supposedly he built his own little tiny house in the woods. Now he lives in the woods. The funny thing about what this dude is doing to me is that he's asking his subscribers for money but refuses to get a job. Where does he think? This is what I mean about financial education. Where does he think the money that his subscribers are using to donate to him comes from? Right? It could, most of the time, it comes from them either working a job or having a business and then working in their business. Something that this man doesn't want to do. And if you don't want to end up living in the woods like this dude, it's important you come back financially educated. Hear this.
It does not matter how many jobs that you have, you will never obtain the amount of money that you need unless you have a side hustle. But most of these jobs nowadays want all of your time and attention. If you are up in the business, meaning you have a salary, you are even more tied in than the rest of us. We're working hourly. So you as a salary worker, you have a responsibility. You have a dedication. It means you're committed.
So if you heard what he just said, right? He turned around and said, no matter how many jobs you have, you will never get out of where you need to be, right? He's wrong, right? Let's say there's so many people out there at the moment that are saying that they have a 100,000 for a year for a job, right? And you're living paycheck to paycheck, right? That's because your outgoings are ridiculous, right? There are people out there who earn a hell of a lot less who are not living paycheck to paycheck. I don't earn no 100K a year, but I am not living paycheck to paycheck because my outgoings have been minimalized, right? And I acquire assets because I understand that even if you have 100,000 in the bank, in 10 years' time, that 100,000, the value of that 100,000, what that can actually accumulate for you in terms of food, houses, clothes, property, goods, right, is going to go down. It's going to go down. So no matter how many jobs you have, if you're just going to keep holding the money and not invest in assets that go up in price, you are going to be broke. But the answer isn't not working at all.
To being at that job. The only thing that we're supposed to be committed to is ourselves. The only thing that we're supposed to be committed to is God. We should not be committed to a job.
You see, this is the sort of attitude. So the only thing is one. The only thing we're supposed to be committed to is ourselves. The only thing we're supposed to be committed to is God, right? So that's two things anyway. So he's wrong there. And the thing is as well, how many times have I come on this channel and said, God gives you so many blessings. He blesses you with a mind. He blesses you with free will. He blesses you with hands. He blesses you with work. He blesses you with wages. He blesses you with a way to get to work, legs to get to work. And then when everything goes mad and goes upside down because you haven't appreciated his blessings and took on what he's gave you and worked with it and ran with it and tried to do the best out of it, it's, oh, God will provide a way, right? And it does my head in because it's like I keep saying to people, count your blessings. And this man is always talking about God, but never talking about the ways in which God blessed him to get a job in the first place.
And if you don't understand, let me go ahead and put it in more perspective. Go look in Colossians 3:23. And it will say, it says, whatever you do for work, do it with all your heart, as you are serving God. Not
Yes.
serving a human master.
See, so God bless you with that job because one thing, I'm not going to stay on this topic for the non-religious here, right? Because it doesn't make sense. But one thing, it's like even to all the Christians out there, because I'm tired of people, oh, Jesus take the wheel with their finances. In the Bible, right, Cain killed Abel. So what happened? God came down and said, you are going to work the land now. This is going to be your punishment for killing your brother. And all of your descendants, which are all us, will have to work the land, right? That's it. So it makes no difference, right, what he believes. Because this is the problem with religion. People just pick and choose the points that they think, oh yeah, this benefits me, right? So you must have a job. If you have a job, right? It's not you must have a job, but if you don't have any source of income, yeah, get a job. Get a job and keep that job. Don't just leave that job so you can be a bum in the woods, right? Because that's what this dude is pretty much. No disrespect to him, right? And now we're going to get into how work is a scam, right? It is a scam in a sense, but we have to break it down, right? So the reason why work is a scam, right? Or we're going to get into why the system's a scam. People ask this question all the time, right? Why didn't I learn that at school when it comes to financial education? And I've always said you have to ask the question why you didn't learn that at the school that you go to. Because rich people, right, don't send their kids to the same state schools or public schools that you and me go to. They go to private schools. And if you look at it, right, the private schools, right, do, as it says here, do not have to follow the national curriculum. So in England, the national curriculum is what the government sets in place, right, for your child to learn. They'll go through school and they'll learn all these different useless things like osmosis on a potato and bleeding gender studies, right? All this crap that's not actually going to help them in life, right? So by the time they leave school, they're no financially better off in terms of education, and they still don't have a clue what to do with the money they get, right? The money they're going to earn in the future, they have no idea what to do with that money to actually make a difference in their lives, right? So as you can see here, look, no private schools, also known as independent schools, are not required to follow the national curriculum. So the reason why their kids are learning more than our kids are learning, right, and our kids are trapped in the system and rich people's kids aren't, is because the rich people pay for their kids to go to these private schools that have financial education in the curriculum. So when they leave, and if they even get a job working at McDonald's, they understand that with their wage, what they have to do with the money: collect assets. Right? And it's one of the main things, right, that keeps people poor is financial education, right? And I'm going to show you something here. Here's where the scam comes in. So you're taught, right, or brainwashed, or however you want to see it, to go to school, to go through all this stuff to get a good job. And what does a job pay you in? A job pays you in fiat currency, right? Fiat currency is the devil when it comes to building wealth, right? If you're American and you're going to work and you're just keeping, I buy a hell of a lot of Bitcoin. If you would just say going to work in American and just saving your dollars, just saving your dollars, just saving your dollars. This was from May 28, 2019. The US dollar has lost 99.99% of its value to Bitcoin. So what else has it lost its value to? The decrease in value of the dollar is why everything seems like it's going up in price. Technically, it's not going up in price. It's that your dollars are going down in value. So you're burning the candle at both ends. You're working to get paid in dollars that will only go down in value. So you're giving your time to be paid in fiat currency that's only going to go down in value, right? So that's where the scam comes in. Because you cannot save yourself, save money or save yourself, right, to get rich. But you are not taught what to do, right? And this is what we're going through now. So let's have it. So the price of the world's largest cryptocurrency increased by almost 170,000% in the past 7 years, which caused the United States dollar to lose nearly 99.99% of its value against BTC, right? The trend is surprisingly similar to the behavior of Germany's paper market during the 1920s hyperinflation. So let me ask you this question, because here's where the scam comes in. If you went to work, let's say 10 years ago, right? 10 years ago, you were going to work and you had the choice to either get paid in dollars or Bitcoin or the stock of the company, right? Do you think you would still be working now? No, because that money that you would have been able to save, or that Bitcoin that you've been able to save, let's say you're getting paid in Bitcoin and you can only save, let's say, 2 Bitcoin per month, right? Because back then, Bitcoin's a lot cheaper. So let's say they're paying you in multiple Bitcoin, you're saving 2 Bitcoin or more. And these Bitcoin are only worth £2 or whatever back then, right? And they're nothing, but you're saving your Bitcoin, da, 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 da. And now it comes to today, where each one of those Bitcoin went up from $2 to 100,000. You don't have to work no more. Let's look at Tesla stock, right? This is what you guys have to start understanding. This is where the scam comes in, right? Tesla shares. Right, watch this. Right. So let's say you was an employee for Tesla, right? And we're going to go from max time. And you started working at Tesla, right, in 2013. And you said, instead of getting paid US dollars, Elon, brother Elon, I want you to pay me half of my salary in cash so I can pay the mortgage and whatever, and the other half I want you to give me in Tesla shares. And you just held on to those Tesla shares. Your $1 that you would have had in 2013 to 2025 would still be worth $1. But your share of Tesla stock, if you would have kept it, would have been worth $2.30 and then ran all the way up to the price of $394.94. The scam is the fiat currency. That's the scam. That's why everybody's broke. People don't understand this, and because they don't understand this, right, they find it so hard to get out of the system and the struggle that they're in. For example, right, multiple fiat currencies. Let's have a look at this here. This is the Venezuelan currency, right? It's in the bin. People have been using this stuff, putting it in the bin, putting it in the bin. People have used it for wallpaper because it is depreciated in value that much that it is cheaper to use the currency than buy actual wallpaper. I mean, look, let's have a look here. I mean, when was this? This is a while ago. But Venezuela rolls out new currency amid rampant hyperinflation. Maduro slashes 5 zeros of country's crippled currency, a move critics say will only make things worse. And this is what's happening, right? The US just keep printing more and more debt. And the more and more and more debt these countries produce, the value in your dollar goes down. Then you're going to work for the same dollars or pounds or Venezuelan whatever that are going down in value. You're trading your life, not for assets, for paper that constantly keeps going down, right? So Venezuela has rolled out, this is 20th of August 2018. 2018 this was happening. Venezuela has rolled out a new currency slashing 5 zeros from the Bolivar in a bid to tame the country's rampant hyperinflation, but critics say new measures will only make matters worse. President Nicolas Maduro declared Monday a national holiday to mark the introduction of a sovereign Bolivar, part of a raft of financial reforms being pushed through by the embattled leader. Right, so what he's trying to do, because what I've just said, they've inflated their currency away. There's no value in it. There's no value in it, right? Inflated the value of their currency away. He had to go and make a whole new currency. And this is why when I hear people, especially Americans who live in the richest country in the world, right, moaning and complaining, I've got no money, I'm broke, I have no sympathy for you, because you haven't took the time to sit down and understand finances, right? If you're American or if you're British, right, you have no excuse. No excuse. You have access to free education. You have access to the world's the best technology in the world. You have access to the financial markets. You can go and get water at a tap where there's people out there that have to walk miles for water. If you don't have money, you can go down to your local benefits office and sign on where they'll give you free money. You could even get free food from food stamps, yet you still want to sit there, bitch, moan and complain that you don't have nothing. Go to India where you've got 10-year-old kids that are never going to go get that free education, never going to get educated at all, get paid 20 cents a day to make glass and end up burning their arms and burning themselves to go back to give that 20p to their mother who's sat down not working, right, to go and buy a bowl of rice to feed a family of 4 that live in a shack with no heating, no electricity, no water, no nothing. And you got the nerve to sit there and bitch and moan when you've got the internet and everything that can help you to make money sat on your ass and you do nothing. You do nothing, right? like this is my portfolio here, right? Right, so this is my portfolio. So you can see here, right? $16,000, right? Put in, keep accumulating assets. That 16,000 has now grown to 49. There's a profit of 33,000. That's not even talking about what's in here and what's in all my other portfolios. This is just a start. But you have to start understanding that buying assets is what's going to change your life. Not this bullshit when it comes to bitching, whining, moaning, and complaining online. Right? There's other things out here as well. Like, look, like for example, Tether, which is a cryptocurrency, yeah, right? Business adds 700 million Bitcoin to the reserves. We know that America, right, have turned around and said when Trump gets in, what they're looking to do is buy 1 million Bitcoin. Right? Why do you think they're putting more money into Bitcoin than actually trying to stabilize the dollar or stabilize GDP or get more people into work? Because Bitcoin is the only asset on the planet that has a guaranteed finite supply. You know, I can't tell you how many houses there are or how many houses that are going to be built. I can't tell you how many pieces of land there are or how many pieces of land they're going to get used for farming. I can't tell you how much gold there is in the earth or how much gold there is floating in the asteroids around us. But what I can tell you is that there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. And if every millionaire and billionaire in the world wanted to buy a Bitcoin right now, there would not be enough for them to have one. They would have to have 0.33 of a Bitcoin. I've been buying Bitcoin because it is sound money. It's sound money. It is sound money. One of the things you also have to understand, right, and this is one of the things that keeps, sorry, I went on a tangent there, keeps us down financially as people is financial language. There is a reason why the financial markets use the terminologies and language that they use so that normal people like you and me don't understand it. I started watching Bloomberg, and when I started watching Bloomberg and CNBC and all these sorts of different channels, first it was baffling to me. They were saying these, and saying this, and saying that, and saying that. Oh, but I didn't even know CPI data is coming in at this, and I'm like, what? It was the Fed is hawkish and dovish. I was like, what does all this stuff mean? Had no idea. Had no idea. Oh, the 20-year note, the 5-year Treasury note, the 10-year note. Didn't know. Right. So then I sat down with my laptop, and every time I heard the financial terminology on the channels, I googled what it meant, and I built up my knowledge of financial language. So then you can understand what they're saying, because if you think that rich people aren't out there talking to other rich people, telling them what to buy or advising why they're buying X, Y, and XY, then you've lost your rocker. Look at Nancy Pelosi. That woman's trading, right, is so good, right? It's better than a lot of actual traders. She gets inside information. We're talking about a 90-something-year-old woman, I think. She gets insider information, and she has been insider trading for years, and we all know it, right? But nobody's come forward to say anything. It is clear if you start right, if you understand what the scam is, right, which is to take your attention off finances, off property, off stocks, off crypto, off tips, off bonds, off businesses, and to keep the focus on you self-victimizing yourself and how bad my situation is. That's a scam. And then you're so depressed and down that you're not even trying to look at another way out. You're not trying to think, okay, so why am I broke? What's leading me to have this financial situation? You're just sort of thinking, oh, can I get another job? Can I get another job? Can I cut my food expenses down? When people don't realize one of the main issues that they have is they constantly keep cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting down. So have a look at Scar in the Woods. So you went down from living in the normal property to cutting down to almost freezing to death, sleeping in the woods, begging people for money. because you don't want to go and get a job or you don't understand finances. That's where the scam comes in. The scam is you go to work, right, to hold fiat currency, and then you don't have an understanding of what to do with that fiat currency. So you move up and move on, and you're better in life, and you never have to work again. You could become rich working at McDonald's if you knew where to park your finances. I know this woman, right? I know her very well, right? And she worked at a very established hotel chain, right? Been there for about 30, 40 years, right? This woman, for the whole 30 and 40 years, could have been buying stock of the company she works for, right, at a 20% discount. That stock to this day, since that time, has rose by about 500%. She didn't understand any of this. So you know how many shares she bought of this company? None. Throughout the whole time she's been there, she could have been buying this stock at a huge discount, getting dividends from it, earning money from it, just letting it work in the background for her. So when she gets older, when she wants to retire, when she's near retirement now, she'd have a whole shit ton of shares of money that she could fall back on. She could have retired probably 10, 15 years ago. But because the financial education is that poor, right? Didn't even look into it. Didn't even cross her mind to think, hang on a minute, let me look into what this is. You get a letter through the post. It turns around and says, we're going to offer you shares at a 20% discount. This person's education was so poor, they looked at that and said, I don't know what it is. I don't understand it. Didn't think I'm going to look into it to see what it is. Didn't think I'm going to go and get any advice. Didn't think I'm going to speak to somebody who knows about this. Just said, fuck it, throw it to one side, and that was it. The amount of money this person could have made through just going to work and buying 100 quid worth of shares per month. 100 quid worth of shares, 100 quid worth of shares, 100 quid worth of shares throughout that whole 40 years is ridiculous. Because every $10 or every £10 that would have been spent back then would have been 50 today. You have to stop having this victim mentality, feeling sorry for yourself. I can't do another 2024 like last year. 2024 is a period of time. It is not a physical manifestation of anything that came and slapped you in the face. It is just a period of time. Right? That is it. Like when you look on my channel, like we've seen it, like we've seen 60, I've got on my channel, go to my channel, there's a 68-year-old woman that's out having to do what she says she has to do, which is selling, you know, a lady of the night, right, having to do what she has to do, right? 68 years old, because the social security she gets is it enough for her to live off for the whole month? She gets like $900 a month, says it's not enough. I just uploaded that video. So if you're going to be one of these people, right, that just take your hands off and it's Jesus take the wheel with your finances, then good luck. Good luck, because like I keep saying to you, God bless you with thought, God bless you with hands, God bless you with a job, God bless you with a house, God bless you with the ability to think with free will, bring them together and go and get what you want. So anyway, I don't want to keep waffling on and waffling and whittling. But yeah, but that's where the scam is. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video anyway. Please let me know what you think down in the description. Like and subscribe. Like I say, you can donate to the channel using the wallets in the description, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano. And you can also get your ledger, link in the description. Peace.